what's up guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. It is currently January 1st, 2022, so I want to wish you all and your loved ones a very happy new year. Today's video is all about how to earn, save, and spend your money as a teenager. I remember I used to search up how to earn money as a teenager when I was younger, and all of the ideas weren't very... All I gotta say is, looking at it now from a perspective of someone who has increased their financial literacy, a lot of those videos weren't actually truly helpful in terms of increasing your wealth to like an extreme amount. Everyone's ideas were like, go do chores in your house and ask your parents for money and walk a dog. Stop it right there. I'm going to tell y'all some actual helpful information so that hopefully if you're watching this video as a younger kid or a teenager, you're able to get a head start. Because I wish I was able to know what I know now when I was younger, because all of that time I could have been making so much money. I have everything written out on my iPad, and the first thing we're going to talk about is how to earn money as a teenager. So what you're able to do is sort of dependent on your age. I would say it's not, because you're always able to get your parents' supervision and they can always make accounts for stuff, and as long as you have a good relationship with them and they pay you the money that you earn from it, you know, it works out. So the first suggestion I have is to start earning money by selling your things online. This is something I still do as a 20-year-old, and I'm going to keep doing it until I have no more stuff to sell. And I really wish I got started when I was younger, because I had so many things that I just didn't use and they were taking up space and it was wasted money. There are so many different selling sites and apps you can use, but my personal favorites are Mercari, Depop, and Poshmark. Now, before I get into specific details, I want to remind y'all to be safe. It is the internet and there's some pretty interesting people online. I had a horrible experience using Depop when I was younger. I was so excited to start selling, and I tried to sell this item to this one person. Long story short, it was so scary because this person got all of my information, like name, birthday, address, like everything. And they didn't even buy the item, so I didn't even make any money. That's not the worst part. I literally had to go to the police and everything, and they couldn't do anything. They were sending me emails and they were being super pushy in like a really creepy, mean way. So I'd just like to reiterate, regardless of your age, but especially if you are younger, to be really mindful of your safety and protecting your personal information. In terms of how old you technically have to be to use these sites, Mercari, they request you be 18 and older. For Depop, you can actually be 13 and older. And for Poshmark, I'm not really sure. I think probably 16 or 18 years old. So if you meet these criteria, then you're good to go. But if not, you're totally able to sign up with your parents' information. Make sure you ask them first and it's totally okay with them, and then you can get started selling. Mercari is the app that I use the most. I have made the most amount of money from it. And if you're wondering how to successfully sell on there and how to use the platform, I have made a separate video on my channel. Depop and Poshmark are definitely more clothing, accessory items, but on Mercari, you can sell your old toys that you don't use from when you were little. This is the majority of my sales actually on Mercari. It's just toys that I don't use anymore from my childhood. What's interesting is that you can also rack up the price in a lot of these items because they're seen as like more valuable since they're older. And I'm like, you want my old doll from 2002? Okay. My mom and dad always get on my case for this. They're like, well, how much did you sell this for? And I was like, $20. They're like, 20? It's worth like $3. I was like, no, mom. If people want to spend their money on it. In terms of getting started, I would recommend having an inventory of your items. So go ahead and clean your room, declutter, and only keep the things that you truly need. And what you don't need, you can go ahead and sell. I've also made separate videos on my channel in terms of figuring out what you want to get rid of and what's worth it to keep, what's worth it to sell, and all of that is available on my channel already. The next way to earn money is through an app called Rover. Rover is an animal caretaking service, and there's a bunch of different options you can choose from. When I personally used the app, I had dogs stay over for just the day, or I had dogs stay over for the night and multiple nights. There's also options for staying in the owner's home, just doing dog walking, or cat sitting. Taking care of an animal is a very big responsibility, so definitely do not take this job lightly. You have to consider, do I have other pets in the house? How do my parents feel about it? How do my siblings feel about it, etc. I would recommend having prior experience before using Rover so that you can show people that they can trust you with their animals. I also forgot to mention that Rover does require you to have a background check, and this is, I think, around $20 to $35. There might be like different options for background checks, but just know that you're going to have to pay it in order to be certified on the site. What's cool about Rover is that each person gets to set their own rate. Since I was new to the app and I wanted to get as many clients as possible, I ended up setting my rates pretty low, and I did get a lot of clients. Rover is probably one of my favorite jobs I have ever had, so if y'all have any more questions about it, feel free to ask. Another way to earn money as a teenager, which I think is the most applicable to our generation, is using social media platforms. There's a few different apps you can use. I would say the most popular would probably be TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. It didn't take me super long to go viral on TikTok. I currently have 12,000 followers on there, and I was able to join the TikTok Creator Fund and earn some income through there. I personally don't use TikTok at the moment, so I haven't actually withdrew my income, but just know that that is a possibility if you want to pursue that. Through a lot of these sites, you can gain money directly through the app, like TikTok's Creator Fund, or you can have AdSense like on YouTube, or you can have things called sponsorships, which definitely open up to a lot more opportunities if you have more of a following. The next way to earn money is through investing, and I really wish I started this when I was younger, so I'm telling you right now to start younger. I personally use the app called Public, but there's so many different investing platforms you can use. To use Public, you have to be 18 years or older, but like I said, you can do this with your parents' help and, just say, hey mom, here's $200, can you please invest it in this? And just hope she gives you the money back whenever you want to sell. The next way to earn money is by starting your own small business or doing a different side hustle. With some schools this isn't allowed, but you could just sell food at school. This was so successful in my high school. Technically you had to be a part of a club to do it, but everyone was like, who has candy right now? And then they'd be spending $1 on a candy bar. That's like the easiest money you could be making. If you buy it in bulk at like Costco or something and just be like, hey guys, I'm bringing candy to school on Snapchat or whatever, like you're gonna be sold out. I have seen so much success with this by just selling at school. You can kind of, not that I'm promoting you to do it on the down low, but it is an option. You can always do it after school, be like, I'm selling this after school, so it's technically not during school hours. I don't know the logistics of it. Now we are getting into how to save money as a teen, and this is just as important, if not more important, than earning money. I don't think I've ever heard this in a how to make money as a teenager video, but I recommend opening up a high yield savings account. Now, if you have no idea what a high yield savings account is, it's totally fine because I had no idea either. A high yield savings account is basically just a glorified savings account in my opinion, because it just offers you a greater interest rate for keeping your money in it. There's a bunch of different ones you can use. Personally, I use VO Bank. Technically, you do have to be 18 to have an independent account, but if you are younger, you can have a joint account with a parent or supervisor. In my opinion, keeping your money in a high yield savings account is better than keeping it in a typical savings account or your checking account, because you're able to earn a larger interest, thereby making more money over time if you have your money in there. The next tip I have for you is to create a monthly budget. This is so important. Include all of your necessary expenses, and you can also set aside some money for going out to eat or going shopping or doing fun activities with friends. But once you've created that budget, everything that's not in those expenses needs to go into your savings account. For me personally, I calculated my monthly budget for January to be around $930, and anything else that was left in my checking account needed to move into my high yield savings account. Now you might be wondering what happens if you need more money in your checking account for whatever reason. And this is why my original bank's saving account is dedicated to those emergency funds. Although I plan on sticking to my monthly budget pretty strictly, I do know that some things may come up, hence why I have that extra savings account handy in case I really need those funds, because I don't want to be pulling money from my high yield savings account, which is already all going towards a specific goal I have. Now getting into how to spend your money, and this is basically a summary of how to create your monthly budget. For me, I have 5 different categories I have split my monthly budget into, and that is rent, insurance, supermarkets, merchandise, and restaurants. Most likely, if you're watching this and you're a teenager, you're probably still living at home, so you can rule out rent, insurance. You probably don't have to pay for your own groceries, so you can rule out supermarkets. You're probably realistically only going to have merchandise and restaurants, and maybe like another subcategory for like entertainment/activities. So this is the prime time for you to be smart with your money and save your money when you're a teenager, because once you get to that adult phase, you kind of have to put your money in a bunch of other places that didn't need to be put into when you were a teenager. For example, let's say you spend $100 per month on shopping, $100 per month on going out to eat, and you earn $200 in monthly income. Obviously, those aren't super realistic numbers, but just bear with me here. You're spending $200, you're earning $200, you put them together, you have no money in your savings account. So for 1 month of this experiment, you spent $100 in 2 categories, so try cutting them down by half or whatever amount you set. So let's say you cut down shopping by half, so it goes from 100 to 50, and you also cut down going out to eat from $100 to $50 as well. Now you're only spending $100, but you're earning $200, so you have $100 left to put into your savings account. The next and final category we're going to be talking about is improving your financial literacy. My greatest recommendation for you is, in order to increase your wealth, you must increase your financial literacy, and one way you can be doing that is by reading books. Make it a goal for yourself to read 4 or so books per month about finance, and I have learned so much from reading books just within the last 2 weeks than I have in my entire lifetime of completely ignoring my finances and not reading into them. In terms of what books you should be reading, here are my top 5 personal favorite finance books that I have read thus far. The next recommendation I have for you is to create financial goals. It's so important that you have these goals for yourself, because otherwise, why would you be motivated to save so much per month? I have a few financial goals, and the main ones are to become a millionaire by 25, and the main one for this year is to buy my first property. I have estimated that I will probably aim for around a $350,000 home. 20% down payment on that is $70,000. And if I split that in half with my boyfriend, then that is $35,000 I need to make by the end of the year. So here's my little piggy bank I have created for my bullet journal. I start at 0 and it goes up 5,000 all the way up to 35,000, and I get to color them in each time I pass that mark, and I'm so excited. This is so motivating, and I have the little house up there because that's what it's for. So really just think of a bunch of bucket list items or things you really want to do that cost money to do. Obviously be smart about what you're saving for. One of the main reasons why I am so set on buying my first property is that once I move out, I can lease it and then earn more money in passive income. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Hopefully it was helpful to you if you're trying to earn money as a teenager, or even if you're not a teenager. I think all of these tips are pretty helpful in general. If y'all have any questions or video ideas, feel free to leave that in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going back to school. Bye!